Okay, so once again, I mean, like I said before, these stages are pretty self-explanatory, really. Also, those caterpillar enemies, you can get a huge combo with those guys, so when you're coming back to this stage later for the other missions, keep those guys in mind, because they give you a lot of time to work with. But yeah, these levels are, like, really short. These are not very long levels at all. In fact, I believe once we go across this bridge... Or, well, no, not yet, anyway. After we go through here... Do a little bit of flying. And go over here to this area. We found our first robot. Here is E103. And, yep, we just have to save them by gunning them down.
E103 Delta, rescue complete.
So I guess you could say we're not really saving the robots themselves. We're actually saving the little animals that are inside the robots. Because, you know, from Sonic the Hedgehog, the Genesis series, whenever you killed an enemy, there was usually an enemy, or there was usually an animal inside, and we'd rescue them. That's essentially what Gamma means by saving them. We're letting the spirits of those robots free, and that's pretty much what we're doing. So that's why we're currently on the mission that we are, and that's why saving means we're destroying them. So we're going to go up here. We can't get to Ice Cap, so logically we're going to go to the other level that's up here, which is Red Mountain. Destroy the monkey. We don't need a monkey destruction button in that case. And here we go, Red Mountain. Destroy E104. Now we're going to go through here. So I guess while I'm going through this stage, one thing I could talk about is just the stages themselves. Because these are very short levels. I think that Gamma's stages and just his general control is generally pretty good. I just find that his levels are like way too short. They're way too short, so you don't really have like a lot of you don't have a lot of time to actually experiment. Like while you're going through these levels, you might find the occasional power-up room or something, but like I don't know, just they're just very short-lived. And in Sonic Adventure 2, they actually expand on these levels through the mech stages, which are the levels that Tails and Eggman have in that game. And honestly, I like those levels. I think that Sonic Adventure 2 does a great job of expanding on these levels in Sonic Adventure 2, because they're a lot longer. Some could probably agree or make the argument that they might go on too long, and I can get that, but I don't know. I mean, I think this kind of control style is fun, personally. It might not necessarily be Sonic, but if you're like focused enough, you can actually make these levels pretty fast. Which is why it really doesn't bother me as much as like the cat stages, which are, just fishing stages, not really Sonic stages. This is not really Sonic gameplay we're doing here, but like at least you can kind of do it fast, and there is some semblance of a level here. unlike Big the Cat, which is just like, oh, these are just fishing stages. So I don't know, that's kind of my opinion on it. I wouldn't say these stages are great, but they kind of they're nice building blocks for what I think are largely improved in the second game, at least in my opinion. And yeah, it may not be the most Sonic-like stages, but they're still very enjoyable. I have fun with them. So there we go. E104 is now defeated.
E104 Epsilon. Rescue complete.
Or I'm sorry, E104 is saved now. Gotta make that distinction.
E103 Delta. E104 Epsilon. Rescue mission accomplished. E105 Zeta. E101 Beta. Location unknown. Perhaps aboard the egg carrier.
So yeah, now we're gonna make our way back to the egg carrier, so we can finish up the last of our civic duty, I guess. If you could call it that, anyway.
Mode change.
So you guys know how to get to the egg carrier. You should by this point, anyway. Just a matter of going over here into this cabin and going down here to the raft, and then you just, I guess, just ride it to the not submerged, but the floating egg carrier now.
E-Series data. Beginning search. Accessing data. Hot shelter. E-Series location confirmed. Unlocking hot shelter sector now.
Okay, so we know where we're going. We're gonna go to the hot shelter. As you guys know, that is the secondary character Skydeck variation, so that seems to be the right way to go. But before we do anything, we obviously have to, we still have to find the final upgrade of Gamma. And it's actually not too far from where the first upgrade was. In fact, it's actually just on the other side of these rooms over here. Now, I think we're supposed to be on the other side. I'll verify really quick. What does this say? Ammunition room. Okay, so we want to be on the other side. And we're going to go to this room. And I believe if you come in here when the ship is in the other form, you cannot get this upgrade. So if there's water in this room, you have to change the formation of the ship, so keep that in mind. But here we go.
Here's your laser blaster. Its blast damages enemies in a wide pattern.
Okay, so we have the laser shot. Laser shot, like it said, it damages enemies in a wide pattern. I guess you could say it's kind of a scatter shot, where if you hit like one enemy, you'll probably hit some other enemies too. I think that's how it works. But yeah, here we go, Hot Shelter. I believe this is the final stage. The final Gamma stage. Oops. And I have to say, this level is actually kind of interesting. I mean, if we played this level pretty extensively in Amy's route. This was Amy's longest level. And I don't think it's really that long in Gamma's route. Nah, I wouldn't say it's too long anyway. It's just a matter of kind of going through all these different rooms. But we actually will see, like, a part of this level that Amy didn't really get to experience. Which makes this level kind of interesting, at least in my opinion anyway. But as usual, while you're going through this, make sure you target as many enemies as possible. Even though I still think the time is pretty generous, it's still like the longest level of Gammas, so because of that, you know, you don't want to make any mistakes. You don't want to make any mistakes while you're going through this, so just make sure you're paying attention to that as you're going through this. And yeah, look, like I couldn't even see all those enemies, and I know I didn't lock on to all these enemies, but just the fact that I had the laser shot, that allowed me to get all the enemies pretty easily, so that was nice. So yeah, one thing you could do if like you want to aim for getting all the emblems in this game, you could quite literally just kind of try to memorize like where there's going to be like a lot of enemies, and then just kind of time it so you can target all of them at once and get a pretty high combo. Alright. Looks like we're playing the crane game, guys. Because why not? Seems like a good thing for us to do anyway. Oh shit, no! Oh, you can actually... Okay, I hadn't realized you could do that. I guess that makes sense, since you'd have to be over there when the crane actually comes down. So yeah, here's the unique part of Gamma's level, where it's, we're on a train. We're definitely on a train right now. Hey, I mean, it's kind of cool. Kind of a unique, unique level trait, I suppose. I didn't expect this the first time I played it. And honestly, this is probably why, like... Oh shoot. Almost fell off right there. But, I was actually kind of fond of this level when I first played this game. So, you know, with all due respect to, even though I like the mech stages in SA2, I do think this is pretty good. Like, this is a fun level. It's just, again, it makes me wish for more. That's kind of just, like, again, my main problem with these stages, is that they just make me want more. Because they're just so short-lived. So it was nice in Sonic Adventure 2 to kind of expand on that. It also didn't really help, considering the fact that, as I've mentioned before, I actually played Sonic Adventure 2 before this game. So in a way, it was kind of the opposite effect, where I had like these very kind of long mech stages. But then when I get to here, it's like, wow, these stages are really short. That's kind of a shame. The SA2 ones are longer. Here's another good place for combos. Part where you're gonna want to like really focus on your combos anyway, especially like there, because you can get like a lot of enemies right there. Obviously, there's a lot of enemies right here too. And I believe when we go down here, here we go. There's the oh, not the last one, because obviously we have Beta still. But here we have E105 Zeta. And yeah, I forgot that, because obviously the other robots had names too. Epsilon and Delta. I actually forgot about, like, I forgot which ones they were. Because it's like based on, like, the Greek alphabet, I believe. I think that's the alphabet it's supposed to be basing off of. There's no alpha, unfortunately, but there is beta. Then there's delta, epsilon, zeta, gamma, obviously. And then, yeah, I think I named them all. Okay, well, we did our duty. The other, Okay, so are E103 through 5, they're supposed to be, like, even, like, worse flunkies or something? Because I thought the idea of, like, when you name something, like, you're making it better. So, but, like, Beta is supposed to be the most powerful one. Then it's supposed to be Gamma, because Robotnik thought Beta was more powerful. But then you have E103, but, like, since it's the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th, wouldn't that be better than the 2nd? I don't know, Robotnik's dumb. Let's not think about it too much.
E-105 Zeta rescue complete. Units remaining. Gamma.
There's Beta.
Beta.
But wait a minute, he kind of included himself in that, too. Oh boy, looks like we're having another battle with our bro. Basically, the idea for this is you want to wait till he does the charge move. And then you want to shoot him in the back once he's done. This can actually be a pretty tough, difficult fight, though. Mainly due to the, like, projectiles he shoots. But if you're persistent, you can get this pretty easily, I think. I think you guys can do it anyway. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about this phase. Where he just shoots giant bombs at you. I nearly forgot all about that, actually. Man, he really wants me dead. Don't you know you're trying to do this to your bro, dog? How dare you do that to me? And there we go.
Mission complete.
Oh no! And look, one of the birdies. My god, that ending is so freaking sad. And for those who didn't quite understand that, because admittedly, the first time I played this, I didn't quite get that. But I was also not super crazy about the game either. I just kind of wanted to just get through the game just to say I'd play it. But in subsequent playthroughs, when I actually encountered that, like, that really hit me pretty hard. So just to put it into perspective, the birds that Amy and Amy's bird were looking for were basically those two birds at the end of the credits. And those two birds were the animals that were inside both Gamma and Beta. So, by saving all the animals, Gamma essentially had to destroy all of his robot brothers to free the spirits of the animals that were inside the robots in question. So that's kind of what that was all about, pretty much. And then at the very end, when Gamma takes down Beta Mark II, then just releasing that bird and then also taking a lethal blow, which also released Gamma's bird. Just a very, very sad way to end that. Just a really powerful story. I just really, really enjoyed this one. Like, I enjoy the narrative that kind of goes along with this story. It is very short. It may not seem like it amounts to a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but it's very beautiful, and that's what I loved about it. So, because of that, I really do have a very special connection with Gamma's story, just because it is just a beautiful way to end it. And speaking of ending it, yeah, with this story done, we only have one more story left. Yeah, once you beat all 6 stories, you unlock the Supersonic story, which is basically the main conclusion to this entire game. And we're going to start, maybe even finish that next time. I might just make this one long video, because I don't want to just like get through all the main stuff and then just, just have the final battle and then the credits. I think it'd be appropriate to do the whole thing, so I think next video is going to be kind of a long one. And yeah, in that video, I'm going to take a look at the entire Supersonic story, and we're going to essentially finish this project. So, hope you guys are ready for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Later, folks.